Good afternoon, grade 10s. This video is specifically going to be catered for you, so stay tuned. I'm going to start a series now. This is going to be drawing 1 out of 6, where I'm going to look at developments for grade 10. So usually the drawings, you'll have pictorial views that you have to redraw, and then you can do the development. They'll either ask you, the instruction will say specifically what they want you to develop. Every single drawing that we are going to do is we will just be developing the front view. So you'll see an example like this. We have a top view, and then we have a front view, and then we just have to develop. So there are three different kinds of developments that we are looking at. The first one is, if you look at this drawing, you'll see this is going to be a hexagon shape, and then it's actually in a prism format, right? So this specific drawing is going to be a hexagonal truncated prism. So you can see the prism has been cut on an incline at the top and at the bottom. So this is going to entail that when we put this front view down, you cut it open on the seam on one of the sides and you start unfolding it, then you are going to start seeing a shape develop, right? That's why it's called development in the first place. So this will be the introduction, the first lesson out of 6. Let's have a look at this drawing as it stands. Alright, so I've already went ahead and I've already assembled a pictorial view of the development. I think all of you are capable to be able to copy and draw this on your own. If not, I highly suggest go have a look at my hexagon video where I show you how to draw this. Alright, so first of all, we have a top view, we have a front view. We don't really care about an XY axis at this point because we are just going to develop the front view on the right hand side here. So the first thing that we do, once we have the copy piece and the instruction says, alright, cool, now you can go ahead and you can develop the front view. This is what we do. We typically have a look and see which one of the highest points on the front view is the shortest. So in this case, this and that view looks exactly the same to me. I'm going to start with the view that's lowest. Usually you will start with the one that's the smallest, and we'll get to examples like that. So I'm going to start labeling here on this corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. As this flips over, this will become 1 and 6, 1, 6, 2 and 5, 2 and 5, 3 and 4, 3 and 4. Once you have these labels, let me just see if I can go in a bit. We can go ahead and we can project the front view over, because we want the development to be exactly in line with the front view itself. So you'll have 3 lines at the bottom and 3 lines at the top. Alright, so this might look confusing at first, but it really isn't. So now we need to have some sort of deviation between the development and the front view. So I would encourage you, just measure 5 or 10 millimeters, just so there is some deviation and everything isn't bundled up. Alright, so this point that we have down here is actually going to be point 1. Alright, when we start with a development and we start with point 1, it means we also have to end with point 1, because as it closes off, they have to line up again. So just to give you an idea, this will be an example of a square prism that has been cut over on the seam and then being rolled open. So you can see if you were to fold these and the sides, bottom and the top close, you will actually get a triangular prism. So that is exactly what we are aiming to do here. We are aiming to get the development. We are supposed to cut it out and then fold it on the fault lines, and then you get what you need. So here we have point 1. So in order to get an accurate representation of the drawing, we need to use the top view as an auxiliary view, right? So we measure from here. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. It's a hexagon, so all of the sides are equal. So 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, 5 to 6, The rule of thumb with developments is we have to end with the same number we start with. So 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. Now all of those lines we can go ahead and in construction project up. Right, we're going to make this very easy on ourselves, not to overcomplicate the drawing or anything like that. Alright, so now you have a bunch of sections. So if you look at the top view from this side, you see one line, 1 and 2, then from this side, 2 and 3, 3 and 4, and so on. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 segments. Because it is a hexagon, it's supposed to have 6. So this point 1, if we want to start the development, this point 1 goes where? It starts here, and it also goes up to there. So that point is also 1. Point 2 goes up to where? There, and to the top there. So here, and to the top there. Right, so quite easy to follow the trajectory. 3, here, 3, all the way up there. You can see because 3, it lines up in this line that you have. 4 is also in line with 3. 4, 4, 5, 1 down, 5, 1 down, 5. 6 is now all the way at the bottom again. 6 is there, and then 1 is in line with 6 here. So now you have all the points. You should now see it starts making like a little bow, and then it makes the bow at the top as well. So the base, let's start by connecting point 1 and 1. Remember, that's going to be the outline of the drawing. So you need to have it in A quality. Then we can go ahead and just connect the dots, right? So 1 goes to 2. 2 to 3. Alright, so that is what the development is going to look like at the end of the day for this specific drawing. But now we have one thing that needs to happen, right? We have 3 different folding lines, or we have 3 different lines that we use. We need to have folding lines in between all of these numbers. So we have a line that looks like this. This line is typically known as a dash line, which is also known as hidden detail. Then we have this line. This is called a chained line. That is where you have a long line, short line, long line, short line. This is to indicate the center points of drawings, like you can see here. Then we have a line that looks like this. Long, 2 dashes in the middle, long. This is called a folding line. Now this is the one we have to use here. So between number 2 and 2, you draw a straight line. In the middle, you draw a folding line like that. And then you do the same for each one of these, right? So between 3, 4, you try and do the folding line so it's in the middle of the shape or the figure. There you go. if you've done your construction light enough, it's not necessary for you to erase these points because you will clearly see the B quality for the folding lines and there won't be any issues. But this is your first development. It's quite straightforward. If you were to cut this shape out, right, and then you were to fold it on these folding lines, you would get exactly this shape that you have there. Point 1 and point 1 has to connect onto each other as they close off. And that's it. That is the development for this hexagonal truncated prism. I hope it helps, and lesson 2 is on its way.